Hello everyone, you're welcome to this channel. In this video, we want to solve for x from this equation, the square root of x plus x minus x multiplying the square root of x is equal to 0. So stay tuned and let's learn together. Now we're given square root of x plus x minus x multiplying square root of x is equal to 0. So from here, what we are going to do is that we are going to manipulate x over here. We know we can rewrite x as square root of x multiplying square root of x. So in place of x over here, you are going to write square root of x multiplying square root of x over there. Now we are going to have square root of x plus square root of x multiplying square root of x minus x multiplying square root of x is equal to 0. And from here, from the three terms, we can realize that we are having root x in common. So we are going to factorize root x out. So when we do that, we are going to have square root of x out. Here we are going to be left with 1 plus, then here we are going to be left with root x minus, here we are going to be left with x. And so this will be equal to 0. Now from here, we can equate this to 0 and the whole of this to 0. So let's do that. Now we are going to have square root of x to be equal to 0, or 1 plus square root of x minus x to be equal to 0. And so from here, to be able to get x, we need to square both sides. So squaring both sides, we are going to have x to be equal to 0. And from here, let's make root x the subject. So we are going to have root x to be equal to x minus 1. Now from here, let's rewrite this equation as x minus 1 is equal to the square root of x. But from here, root x is defined when square root of x itself is greater than or equal to 0. So we can also say that the equation x minus 1 is also greater than or equal to 0. So when we make x the subject, we are going to have x to be greater than or equal to 1. Now let's come back to this equation. So we have square root of x is equal to x minus 1. So we are going to apply this condition over here. So let us square both sides so that we get rid of the square root over here. So we are going to have the square root of x all squared is equal to x minus 1 all squared. And then from here, the square will cancel the square root. So x will be equal to x squared minus 2x plus 1. And from here, let us move x to the right hand side. So we are going to have x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus x is equal to 0. So we are going to have x squared minus 2x minus x is going to give us minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now from here, we are going to use the quadratic formula to be able to get the values of x. And the quadratic formula is given by x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And so to be able to get a, b, and c, we are going to compare this equation with the general quadratic equation. And when we do that, we are going to have a to be equal to 1, b to be equal to negative 3, and then c to be equal to 1. And so from here, let us compute this formula. So x will be equal to negative, b is negative 3, so negative 3 plus or minus the square root of b squared, and then b is negative 3, so negative 3 squared minus 4ac. 4 multiplying a is 1, and then c is also 1, all over 2a, and then a is 1. So let's clean here. And so from here, I'm going to have x to be equal to negative will cancel negative, so this will turn positive. So 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared is going to give us 9. And then negative 4 times 1 is going to give us negative 4 all over 2. And so x will be equal to 3 plus or minus the square root of 5 all over 2. And so we can have x to be equal to 3 plus square root of 5 all over 2. And then we can also have x to be equal to 3 minus square root of 5 all over 2. And from here, this is approximately equal to 2.62, which is greater than 1. And this satisfies our condition. And this one is also approximately equal to 0.382, which is less than 1. And then this does not satisfy this condition, so we are going to reject this and then accept this. So the values for x for this equation is equal to s is 0, and then we're also going to have s to be equal to 3 plus root 5 all over 2. So these are the two answers that will satisfy this equation. Thank you for watching. If you find this video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and then comment as well.